Hey guys, this is Chris here. I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the stuff we use on the river and what time of the year we use it for what species. All the stuff I'm going to show you guys is available at the Maumee Tackle Store right on Conant. To go in there, those guys will hook you up pretty easily. They'll definitely love to help you up there. Good guys I found. Just a good store to hit up before you go to the river. It's right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the walleye run. Big part of the walleye run, big part of the year for the river is the walleye run. I know probably a lot of you have seen it, been there, done it. Hopefully you guys have caught some fish. If you haven't, hopefully this helps. It's truly something to see if you haven't seen it. But this is what we're going to need for the walleyes, to catch some walleyes. We're going to need a floating jig head. Don't get the huge ones. The huge ones do not work as well, I think. I mean, some people might think they do, but those are the people that they don't. I don't know. Just don't get the big ones. The mid-sized ones, Northland makes some, and then I don't know who makes these little round ones. They have these at the tackle shop. They're pretty good too. But what we gotta do is you're gonna do with this is you're gonna get the floating jig head, some plastic grubs, which are pretty cheap, can be bought anywhere, and then also what you would call a trolling sinker. People use barrel sinkers with a swivel. I'd like to use these. It's less stuff to carry around in the box. It's less stuff that will spill in my bag, my backpack, or wherever I'm fishing. It's just less stuff to mess with. So, and then the last and final thing you're gonna need is some kind of like lighter pound test line. I use the Bass Pro Premium XL. It's 6 pound. It's clear. It's transparent. It's easy. It's cheap. So here's how we're gonna rig that. Is what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your trolling sinker, start with this. Then you're going to tie just a basic fisherman's knot to the end of it. No big deal. 18 inches of leader line is going to be in between your trolling sinker and jig. What we're going to do is just, then you're going to take the other end of your leader, basic fisherman's knot in your floating jig and grub selection. Colors, people will say colors matter, but I don't think colors do. I mean, pink seems to be a color for walleye, greens, yellows, pretty much everything, any kind of color you can throw at them works in the Maumee for walleyes, to be honest with you. But what we're going to do is tie them all. We got 18 inches in between them, like I said, and then they're now connected. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the other end of our trolling sinker, tie it to our main line, and now we're walleye fishing. So that was easy. Basic stuff. Depending on the level of the river will depend on what weight trolling sinker you use. Like I said, the guys at the tackle shop will help you determine what weight you use depending on the level of the river. The amount of weight you use is crucial in success or not. So make sure you get that weight right and your length of your leader correct. People tend to kind of like let that go by the wayside and tend not to catch any fish because of it. So that is pretty much, I mean, sometimes people will use a lead head for walleyes. Not a big fan of this right here. Don't think it works as great. A lot of the snaggers are going to use this, and not trying to be one of those guys. So, but we'll get back to this guy in a minute because this will be used. This still is in my box, but we're going to get back to that. So after the walleye season's done, you know, we're catching white bass. Everyone's out catching white bass by the hundreds and thousands as usual. So what we're going to be using for that, and people are going to be throwing for those, are these rooster tails. A lot of rooster tails. Maps makes them. I'm trying to think. Rooster tail, maps, silver, white, yellows, greens. Your brighter colors are going to work. Silver, white seems to be the color of the year right now, for me at least. I like to throw a little bit bigger of one, just a little more weight, because we're in the river and it's easier to throw. So that's a great one for white bass. Caught a lot of white bass on that. You'll see some of my videos that are up now. A lot of those white bass were caught with those. Another thing we like to use for white bass are these. Are going to be your white bomber crankbait. Just simple, smaller crankbaits. These two are both bombers. One's white, one's fire. This one's cool because it has a square bill on it, and I think it gives it a different motion in the water. I think that helps quite a bit. The white one seems to be a hot color again, like I said this year. The white seems to be doing great. I love using this white one for big white bass. And then again, for the white bass, people can still use the Carolina rig like I showed you for the walleyes, but it will not work as well. You use a little less weight. It's a little more complicated, but I think the rooster tail and the crankbaits are going to suffice fine for white bass. But also remember, check the regulations because you cannot use treble hooks up until a certain point on the Maumee, and then for walleye season. So don't get caught using treble hooks on the Maumee, because the boys in green will find you. And then for white bass, again, people will use the lead head, the white again. Here we go, but just another lure. I mean, I don't like throwing it for them. I would rather throw a bigger lure, but lead heads will also work for white bass. So we've gone through white bass, and now we're moving on to like your we're getting middle of summer type situations out here. The river's real low, the river's warming up, it's hot out, so now it's time to start fishing for some smallmouths, and that's one we're going to use for those are going to be crankbaits, crawfish imitations. This is a Rebel craw. This is a great one. This is it's a fairly big lure, but it works. The smaller fish still eat this lure. They smallmouth are very aggressive, and they will pound this lure all day. So do not be afraid to throw a big lure in the river. Like I said, Rebel craw. This one's cool. It's got the claws on the end. This is a bomber craw that works pretty cool. Like again, the colors vary from yellow to brown to fire tiger. It just doesn't really matter. Like any craw imitation works. Depending on the day and the light circumstances, the color might vary. But just like I said, just have a variance of colors in your box. It will help. Another thing we like to throw for the smallmouths again is the bomber square bill bomber. This is they seem to love this lure late in the evening, maybe early mornings. Just another great lure to have in the box on the Maumee. The white one will also work for smallmouths. The lead heads are also still, the lead head is also still a great early smallmouth season lure for when they're spawning on the beds, things like that. You can get them off the beds with these. People will also use jerk baits, things like that. This is just a white jerk bait, husky jerk. It's got some rattles on it. It works pretty well for them. These get a little expensive to start losing these in the river, so just when you do use them, be careful not to lose them, or figure out where the snags are, things like that. So just try to be mindful of that when you're in the river. And then the grandmaster daddy of them all for smallmouths, as far as I'm concerned, is this guy right here, the tube bait. This thing is what smallmouths are caught on in the river. Yeah, there's nothing really to be said about the tube. The tube is awesome. How we like to rig it, this is just a yellow and green tube, and how I like to rig it is, you got your hook with a weight in it. Then if you can see it, it's got kind of an offset eye. So what you're going to do is, you're going to put this in the end of your tube, just throw it in there, and then slide it to the top, slide the weight to the top, and then you're going to just poke out the eye of it. Then you're going to tie your knot right there. And as this gets in the water, it's going to do one of these. It's going to come up and land on the bottom like that, like facing this way, and this is going to look like crayfish. Again, the crayfish is the food of choice for fish in the river in the summertime. Catfish also, if you guys can get your hands on some live crays, put those under a bobber and dead drift them through the river, and you will catch catfish. I don't have bobbers set up right now or anything like that, but just another thing to remember. But I'm going to tell you guys, the overall lure that I have in my bag most of the year is going to be this guy right here, the green fire tiger crankbait with the square bill. He will catch everything from walleyes when you can use trebles to smallmouths, and I've even caught catfish on this. This is a great lure to use. Don't underestimate the crankbait. Don't be afraid to throw different stuff. Don't be afraid to throw bigger stuff. It's just, the river's a great place to learn to fish, things like that. But like I said, go up to Maumee Tackle, talk to those guys. They'll help you out. They'll hook you up with a spot and things like that. But hope this video helped, and I'll definitely have more. So please check in back again later with me, and hope you guys have a good day and tight lines.